Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just gone down to Bitcoin. We're going to CoinsKid cruise. So Bitcoin's doing incredibly well for us, and there's one key chart that I'm going to show you today that we just need to keep an eye on, nothing else, on a specific time frame with a couple of indicators that create for yourselves. It holds all the clues going forward. Now I do think there is an alt season coming in this cycle. I don't think this cycle is any different from any previous cycle. Typically towards the end of the Bitcoin cycle, this is where we do see the acceleration and equally the alt season come, which we've not seen yet. So there's a couple of charts I'm going to show you, but firstly, let me show you, over the weekend I was looking at short opportunities. I did relay this in a previous Bitcoin video for you. Some coins that are jumping out for weekend shorts via crypto blocks, basically. Really simple. We've got optimism, and greed. Now this coin here, greed, mask, we jumped into that short. It was a 46% drawdown on Friday. It was absolutely a whopping short, and hopefully I'll find these shorts again, but this was brought to our attention by crypto blocks on CoinsKid.com. Let's dive in right now and see what we can see, okay? So I know a lot of people get really annoyed the fact that I don't just jump into the Bitcoin chart sometimes and, in the XRP chart and VeChain chart and things like that, but I'm always trying to find ways to make you money in this space. And, it's not just about Bitcoin, it's not just about XRP, it's not just about VeChain. There are many projects and coins out there that, fluctuate, go up and down, left, right, sideways and things like that. And there are trading opportunities, and this is primarily what we focus on this channel. For anyone paying attention, we just focus on trying to make money in crypto, whether or not we're holding or selling or shorting or longing or whatever. We primarily look at ways to make money. So there was a lovely opportunity on Friday on this coin here, mask. It flipped orange, basically into a state of greed on the crypto blocks. Took a look at it, shorted it, boom, look at that, massive opportunity. I think eventually from the peak to the trough, this came down roughly 52%. It was a whopping short. Personally, I took profit around about 30%. I didn't hold on to that short, and obviously as it's coming down, I'm kicking myself, but I got paid, and it is what it is. So basically right now, if you are looking for little trades, I would highly recommend using futures crypto blocks in the block section up here on CoinsKid.com. And what you're looking for is just things that stand out, and it is really simple. This is why I've made this, because the market can be volatile, it's up, left, right, and you don't know what to look for and things like that. So I've just made this particular section as a visual representation of little opportunities, basically. So for anyone that remembers, Bitcoin pumped a few weeks ago, went sideways, and one of the coins was still in an extreme state of fear. It was down here, Voxel, I think it was, and absolutely bolted, and it caught the market up. It was around about 40-50% pump. It was huge, and these are the trades that are brought to attention by the visual representation of futures crypto blocks. Really simple. So what trades are we looking at right now? So you've got Tron that's pushing up, you've got Bitcoin Cash that's pushing up, you've got ICP that's pushing up, you've got Sun that's pushing up, you've got this coin here, IOST, that's pushing up as well. But what you're looking for, which I've taught you before, if you click on the coin and the block, you're looking for bearish divergence. You're looking for 5 waves up with bearish divergence, and that's exactly what we see here. From this floor that we put in on June the 5th, we've come up in a 1, back in a 2, breakout 3, back in a 4, breakout 5. So you've got 5 waves up with bearish divergence. So you've got an increased probability, okay, this thing's going to come in for a correction. And if you look at this right now, you've got some kind of bar that's going sideways. By bar, basically you broke out like this, you go in sideways and then you come back down. It's called a Bart Simpson. So you've got an increased probability with the bearish divergence that this thing should come back, retest this God candle back test, which is basically a bar, and then go again. So I'll be looking for a short opportunity on Bitcoin Cash, because the crypto block is pushing into a state of optimism. That's the only reason I'm looking at it, because the visual representation right there. And obviously the flip side is whenever you start to see things pushing into extreme fear or fearful, you get an increased probability. Okay, if you see a bullish divergence, which is the opposite what I've just shown you, and 5 waves down, boom, you've got an increased probability of the long playing out. Okay, really simple. So let's dive into the Bitcoin chart, but that's futures crypto blocks on CoinsKid.com. It's part of the CoinsKid Elite membership. Get involved, okay? Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now to see what we can see. So looking at Bitcoin on the 5-day time frame right now, this is the only chart we need to pay attention to, with 2 indicators that create for yourselves on the macro. We're going to take a look at them right now, because it's calling all the shots, and we have to respect that. So I'm going to drop them in right now, but I'm going to get a notification system out for you, for anyone that's an elite member of the CoinsKid crew, for the futures blocks. Instead of you sitting on there constantly looking and things like that, which can be quite boring and draining and things like that, I am going to make a notification system for you that when we see coins drift into greed or fearfulness, then obviously it's going to ping you, and you can look at the chart, you can make your own mind up. Is it worth a long? Is it worth a short? Where's your stop loss? Things like that. Does it have bearish divergence, bullish divergence? And from there you can you take on your own trade. So I'll get that out to you as soon as possible. But this is the key chart for me for Bitcoin. Okay, this is the only chart we need to be paying attention to. So for anyone that's aware, from this top here, I actually think that's a cycle top of a previous impulse. From there we've had the A wave down, the B wave high, and this was your C leg drop. Basically, it was a beautiful bump and run pattern, and equally a falling wedge, which we traded, broke out, back test, see you later. So we've been coming up ever since. So we've got support here, support here, support here, and support here once more. So this thing's coming up. I do think in time, if this trend line starts to break, okay, you've got your beginning of a whopping C wave or big crash and correction at that point. And we'll be looking at this for a very long time. So there's a couple of indicators that I made for you that will go with this chart that we need to pay attention to on the 5-day time frame. Okay, so I'll drop those in. One is the crystal ball indicator based on M2 global money supply, and the other is the CoinsKid ribbon. You can get access to these. Just go to coinskid.com. Everything is open. Once you join the CoinsKid crew elite, you've got the Discord access, you've got all the key features on coinskid.com, and obviously all the indicators as well on TradingView for yourselves. So let's drop those two indicators in right now and see what we can see. Okay. So a very important chart on the 5-day time frame at the moment. We're holding a ribbon, which is really important, and obviously we've got the CoinsKid crystal ball, which is based on M2 global money supply. You're getting the same peaks. Look at this, peak, you got a peak just there. So your peaks and troughs are pretty on point. You got a trough there, you got a trough there, and right now you've had another trough there, you know, and equally you got your bottom just there, which is your bottom just there. So you know, you're right on cue with liquidity. So again, you know, at the moment we've seen no decoupling from it. So this is why I'm relaying to you, if we are on track, then obviously I think Bitcoin is having its little correction, and at some point it will continue to show, and it's still trending up into August basically. So I'm looking for this. I think we are nearing the end phase here for Bitcoin, okay, because you know, typically from peak to peak we do see a 4-year cycle here for Bitcoin. So from peak to peak is 4 years. So in theory the peak was there in 2021, so we should be expecting some kind of peak in 2025. The previous peak before that was in 2017, and the previous peak before that was in 2013. So every 4 years Bitcoin goes through this sort of peak to peak cycle, doesn't it? You know, right on cue we're trending above the ribbon, which is really important, making higher highs and higher lows, which is absolutely beautiful. I said that the wrong way around, I do apologise. Higher lows and obviously higher highs. So we're still in this whopping uptrend, you know, with no breakdown in sight basically. So the minute we do break down and the data suggests, okay, we're cooked, that's the time to be bearish. But until then, you know, just respecting the structure, which is absolute boss, we're trending up. So, you know, I do think in time we will break down, and obviously when we do, we'll be looking for the 5-wave counter like we've got here. 1, 2, waterfall 3, 4, 5, all in, which I relay to you. Getting your ass back above the ribbon on an impulse, flip from red into yellow, into green, you're in a whopping uptrend. So all I'm relaying to you at the moment, again, not bullshit, not hopium, Bitcoin is in an uptrend. And right towards the end of Bitcoin's cycle, which is something I'm anticipating this year, to be honest with you, we do something like this, where Bitcoin breaks down, makes the lower high, but total 2, which is your altcoins, absolutely goes berserk. And we've not seen it there, we've not seen it there, and we've not seen it there when people have been calling for bear markets in Bitcoin, okay? So I'll leave you with that. At the moment, the trend is your friend. You know, until the end, break the trend, make a new friend. We are in a clear uptrend here for Bitcoin. But if we start to break down below the green dotted line and we start to lose a ribbon, then you were there. This is a whopping uptrend that Bitcoin finds itself in. So I'll leave you with that. I think there's many altcoin opportunities across the board for this end phase that's potentially coming here for Bitcoin. And obviously I'm looking for the deviation. I'm looking for more signals and data that, you know, tell us that it's not going to come, and I just don't see it at the moment. So I'm just relaying the data to you. Hope you understand that. So stay tuned. Hope you understand the update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Back to an update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.